It is 11 p.m. on a Friday. I am slumped in front of my laptop, my eyes burning from yet another overtime project. My phone buzzes. A notification pops up. $250 deposited? This is the money I earned after an exhausting week of trading away my sleep and skipping dinners with my family. I open my banking app, ready to buy something expensive online just to reward myself for the struggle. But as I scroll down last month's statement, my hand completely freezes. My total income was actually very high. Yet, the amount left in my savings account is less than $100. The money simply evaporated. It vanished into rushed ride shares because I kept waking up late, into overpriced takeouts because I was too drained to cook, into random, late night purchases bought just to relieve my stress. I realize in that moment that I am not lacking money. I am lacking energy. And this absolute exhaustion is forcing me to pay the price using the very same money I had sacrificed my health to earn. I am operating like a broken machine. A few days later, while desperately searching for a way out of this endless cycle, I stumbled upon a fascinating economic report. It was about Japan. The country is currently facing the most severe labor shortage in its history because of an aging population. Their workforce is shrinking fast. But here is what truly caught my attention. Instead of forcing their remaining workers to take on double the workload until they completely break down, they chose a completely different path. They built systems. From local convenience stores and small restaurants to massive factory floors, they are leaning into automation. They use machines to handle all the repetitive, exhausting tasks. They do this to fiercely protect human energy for the things that actually require a human touch. Reading that, it suddenly hit me. I was going through my very own internal labor crisis. My time, my physical health, and my mental focus are finite resources. Yet, I was draining them every single day just to keep up with my chaotic financial life. I was doing all the heavy lifting myself, using my raw willpower to survive, when what I really needed was a system. In Western work and consumer culture, or really in any modern city, we constantly glorify the hustle. Whenever you find yourself short on money, the default advice is always the exact same: work harder, take on a side gig, sleep less. We are told to make more money so we can upgrade our lifestyle, only to realize we now have to work even harder just to maintain that new standard of living. It is a relentless treadmill. But the philosophy behind how Japan operates offers a stark contrast. When a resource becomes scarce, whether that is a national workforce or your own personal daily energy, their immediate instinct is not to exploit it further. They do not try to squeeze water from a stone. They accept the reality of their limits. They simplify the process, and then they build a self-sustaining system. They do not rely on sheer motivation or endless grinding. Instead, they use strict discipline to actually create free time and peace of mind. In this video, we are not going to talk about macroeconomics or national policies. Instead, we are going to take the exact way Japan handles its labor crisis and apply it directly to your own wallet. We will break down 3 core principles that will help you build a fully automated financial operating system. This is a system designed to help you control your spending and actually keep your money without forcing you to rely on sheer willpower or draining your energy every single day. You do not need to grind for 16 hours a day to build wealth. You just need to work smarter with the money you already have. Principle number 1 is Danshari. If you want to automate, you must first declutter. A factory cannot operate robots if the floor is cluttered with trash and broken machinery. Similarly, you cannot automate your finances if your cash flow is a total mess. That is when we need to embrace Danshari. It is the philosophy of letting go and decluttering. The problem for people experiencing financial burnout is that they have too many leak points. Monthly subscriptions for streaming services or gym memberships they never use. Credit cards with ridiculously high annual fees. trying to manage dozens of these tiny expenses completely overloads the brain. My friend Marcus used to boast about having 5 different credit cards just to chase reward points. But every single month, he lost hours trying to remember payment dates, moving money around, and living in constant anxiety of being hit with late fees. The very first thing Marcus did was not downloading another complex budgeting app. He canceled 4 unnecessary cards and cut off all pointless automatic subscriptions. Financial Danshari is not about stripping away your joy. It is about clearing the ground so you can clearly see exactly where your money is actually flowing. Principle number 2 is Chokin, building your own money-saving robot. But seeing your money is only step 1. For the money to actually stay, you need to build a machine to protect it. The Japanese have a habit called Chokin, which means saving before spending. In modern consumer culture, we usually do the exact opposite. We pay bills, buy groceries, go out, and then, if there is anything left at the end of the month, we try to save it. But the truth is, when you are exhausted and burnt out, your willpower drops to zero. You will naturally blow whatever money is left on short term, fleeting pleasures just to feel better. Imagine setting up an automatic transfer on the first day of every month, the exact moment your paycheck arrives. $200 is instantly routed to a separate account, one without an ATM card. You do not need to remember it. You do not need to fight a mental battle. That money is strictly protected by a procedural robot. Let us say you automatically put away 10% of your income every month. At first, you might feel a little stretched, but human beings have a miraculous ability to adapt. After just a few months, you will learn to live perfectly fine on the remaining 90%. Automated. Chokin does not just help you keep your money. It protects you from your own impulsive behavior on the days when you are feeling your absolute weakest. But if you think that cutting up your credit cards and automating your savings is all there is to it, you are only scratching the surface of the real problem. A good financial system will only stop you from going broke. But if you want to truly feel fulfilled, and if you want to stop blindly running on the endless hamster wheel of chasing money, the next principle is what will fundamentally change your deep-rooted relationship with wealth. Because the truth is, the Japanese do not create all this free time and mental space just to sit around doing absolutely nothing. Principle number 3 is Ikigai. What is all this money actually for? When Japan introduced robots into their factories and supermarkets, the ultimate goal was never to eliminate humans. The real goal was to liberate people from soulless robotic tasks. It allowed them to focus on services that require empathy, care, and human connection, the very things that create a truly high quality of life. In your personal finances, once you have used Danshari to declutter and Chokin to automatically protect your money, you will suddenly find yourself feeling much less anxious. You no longer have to work overtime just to pay off credit card debt. And that is exactly when you must face the biggest question of all. What is your Ikigai? What kind of life are you actually trying to fund? So many young professionals in the West and in major modern cities get completely trapped in lifestyle creep. The moment their salary increases, they move into a bigger apartment. They upgrade their car. They eat at more expensive restaurants. They make a lot more money, but they actually become much poorer when it comes to their time and their personal freedom. When you finally define your Ikigai, your true purpose, or the core joy in your life, you instantly stop spending money on things just to show off to society. You might even turn down a major promotion that requires working weekends simply because your Ikigai is spending Saturday mornings painting with your children. You are no longer manipulated by consumer culture because you finally know exactly where your finish line is. And once you finally know where that finish line is, that is when all these small, seemingly random habits begin to snap together into a much bigger picture. The real problem has never been that you do not earn enough money. The problem is that you have been treating your own mind and body as a manual tool, forcing yourself to absorb every single ounce of financial pressure. Danshari clears away the overwhelming clutter. Automated Chokin steps in as your tireless, dedicated money-saving robot. And Ikigai becomes your ultimate map, ensuring that every dollar you keep actually serves the exact life you truly want to live. These three principles do not just exist on their own. Together, they form a complete, fully functioning financial operating system. It is a system that runs quietly and smoothly in the background. It frees up your precious energy. And most importantly, it gives you the permission to finally slow down. You cannot work 14 hours a day forever. Your youth, your physical health, and your sheer enthusiasm all come with an expiration date. Instead of continuing to drain yourself completely within this relentless hustle culture, perhaps it is finally time to take a breath and pause. Quiet wealth does not come from how much you can aggressively grind out in a single night. It comes from building a solid, unshakable system, a place where your money naturally knows how to find safe shelter even while you are fast asleep. If this video has helped you look at your own burnout from a completely different perspective, please consider subscribing to the channel. And I am genuinely curious. Which mindless, automatic expense are you planning to Danshari tonight? Let me know down in the comments section below.